Contenders always need depth, but this year, the market is broken. If your team is chasing the cup and needs a dependable bottom six center who can win faceoffs and kill penalties, you have virtually nowhere to go except through the Vancouver Canucks. They own the two most essential fixes, Teddy Blueger and David Kämpf. 9 teams are desperately shopping for this exact player. We're breaking down who they are and, most importantly, who will be forced to pay the highest price. Let's get into it right now.
Power play goal. Elias Anderson.
Broke it free from Anderson. Got it to Besser in front. Backhander scores. The puck back in. Campoli trying to clear it. Burrows is pressed. Lost the puck loose to Edwards. Back in for Alex Burrows. Gets up in the air. Now McKinnon to the side. Oh! With the left glove. Are you kidding me? What a save.
Hey, Canucks Nation, Brandon Allison here, play-by-play for the Edmonton Canucks. You've got it locked in the line change, the Vancouver Canucks podcast.
What's up, Canuck fans? Welcome to The Line Change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast. Now, we've been hearing for weeks the theoretical trade value of pending free agents like Teddy Blueger and David Kämpf, but as we sprint toward the March 9th NHL trade deadline, that theory becomes cold, hard reality. The biggest story isn't the Canucks selling, it's the market scarcity they're exploiting. Blueger and Kämpf represent the ideal bottom six rental. Reliable, responsible, strong on the faceoff dot, and proven penalty killers. They're plug-and-play winners. The core problem for the other 31 teams, there are virtually no other rentals of this caliber available around the league. It's a seller's market with very limited inventory, but an extremely high demand. We've identified 9 teams who have a definitive pressing need for one of these two centers. Let's break down the 3 tiers of buyers. We start with the teams that are truly all in, the ones who view this acquisition not as a bonus, but as an essential piece to lift the trophy. These are the teams that can't afford to lose a bidding war. First up, we have the Colorado Avalanche. They are arguably the best team in hockey, but even the best can be improved upon. Colorado is a top-heavy team, and their bottom six is spotty. Right now, their current center depth consists of Nathan MacKinnon, Brock Nelson, Jack Drury, and Zakhar Bardakov. Apologies if I mispronounced that. They may try to grab a big name, but failing that, they need reliable veteran savvy to support the young duo of Drury and Bardakov. A Blueger-type center is an absolute glove fit here and is the exact piece that could make the most positive impact on their roster. Next up is the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay is a perennial contender, but they've been absolutely besieged, by injuries this year. Their 2 top centers, Braden Point and Anthony Cirelli, both are missing the Winter Olympics. They'll be back, but Tampa needs insurance, and they need it cheap due to cap constraints. Right now, their current center depth is Braden Point, Anthony Cirelli, Nick Paul, Yanni Gourde, and Dominic James. A 50% retained Blueger is a classic Lightning deadline acquisition. They have a known history of making these savvy late addition moves to solidify their core for a long playoff run. Finally, in this tier, we have the Edmonton Oilers. How can a team with McDavid and Draisaitl have center depth issues? It's simple. The drop-off is massive. With McDavid only signed for 2 more years, the Oilers cannot afford to wait. Right now, the Oilers' center depth consists of Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Trent Frederick, and Adam Henrique. They will be on the hunt for a cheap, reliable bottom 6 addition if the Canucks can stomach supporting a divisional rival. The Oilers' urgency and their pressure to maximize this window makes them a highly motivated bidder. Let's take The second tier consists of playoff locks who are either capitalizing on excess cap space or are being driven by a profound obligation to their current core. First up, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, are the first and most obvious name. They are a cup contender who always has money to burn, some $40 million roughly in cap space this year, a number that sounds made up. Their current center depth consists of Sebastian Aho, Logan Stankoven, Jordan Stahl, Mark Jankowski, and Jesperi Kotkaniemi. They have the luxury to add whatever they want, and a responsible veteran center is the easiest kind of depth to slide in. Expect them to quietly but forcefully compete for this type of player. I actually would not be surprised if Blueger found himself landing in Carolina. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins. GM Patrick Allvin and company were not supposed to be here, but the Penguins have found new life in 25-26. They are obligated to go for it in what might be their last run with both Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. At least, the two of them together. As of course, we heard retirement rumors to which Malkin himself has denied, who, by the way, is in the final year of his contract, which is $24.4 million, and is set to become a UFA, although he has stated he won't play for any other team. Let's take a look at the Pittsburgh Penguins center depth. Sidney Crosby, Tommy Novak / Evgeny Malkin. Malkin has been playing on the wing lately. Ben Kindle and Kevin Hayes. With Malkin spending much of the season on the wing, center is their biggest area needing extra coverage. A reunion with a former Penguin in Blueger would be a great story, but more importantly, a great fit for their team needs. Then we look at the Buffalo Sabres. They are finally in a playoff position. Yay for Buffalo. And their fans will not tolerate anything but an attempt to secure their spot. Buffalo Sabre fans are tired of being, I don't want to say the laughingstock of the NHL, because that's what the Canucks are right now. But they're tired of losing. They want to be in the playoffs. They want some playoff hockey. While they have options, they could use more reliability in the bottom six. Let's take a look at the Buffalo Sabres' center depth. You have Tage Thompson, Josh Norris, Ryan McLeod, Noah Ostlund, and Tyson Kozak. Players like Blueger and Kämpf, who can win faceoffs and kill penalties consistently, will be of significant interest as they try to keep up with the Eastern Conference pack. Our final tier includes the teams that have a specific niche need or are fighting to stay in the race. First up, we have the Dallas Stars, are a top contender, but they're the mirror image of the Avalanche, loaded everywhere except the blue line. Now they're dealing with a major long-term injury to Tyler Seguin. This loss can be supplemented with a center, but they have limited cap space, and their focus is on being able to re-sign Jason Robertson, which is something they're going to have to do in the offseason. And by the way, Robertson, who is in the final year of his deal and is a pending RFA, not a UFA, this makes them a definite bargain shopper. Let's take a look at the Dallas Stars' center depth. They have Rope Hintz, Wyatt Johnston, Matt Duchene, and Radek Faksa. A 50% retained Kämpf or Blueger is a necessity for their depth, making them highly motivated to make a trade work. Next up, we have our geographic rivals, the Seattle Kraken. They've taken a step ahead of the Canucks this season, but their roster has holes everywhere. They need additions at center, especially if they concede to a Shane Wright trade, and rather to Shane Wright's trade request that is rumored to be going on. Their current depth is Matty Beniers, Chandler Stevenson, Shane Wright, and Oscar Fisker Molgaard. It's an easy, short distance move for someone like Blueger, and it's a required stability piece for the Kraken's playoff push. Finally, the San Jose Sharks, they've fallen out of a playoff spot, but they are loaded with cap space, picks, and prospects. They won't be big game hunting, but they absolutely need depth pieces that can provide stability and mentorship for their young centers like Macklin Celebrini and Michael Misa. Their current center depth consists of Celebrini, Alexander Wenberg, Michael Misa, and Zach Ostapchuk. Apologies if I mispronounced that. Faceoffs are tough for young cores, and either Kämpf or Blueger provides a reliable solution in that regard. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see the Sharks land either a Blueger or a Kämpf and add some veteran presence to that very young core that they have, and I do think it could definitely help them. So, 9 teams with 9 urgent, legitimate reasons to acquire Teddy Blueger or David Kämpf. When you have a market this hungry, with supply this low, the seller holds all the cards. The biggest factor dictating the price in teams like Tampa Bay, and Dallas, who require salary retention. That retention is what increases the asset price. And remember, the Canucks retain on either Blueger or Kämpf. It's not going to burn them, as Kämpf is only making $1.1 million, while Blueger is only making $3.6 million, and both of them being pending UFAs, that'll come off the books at the end of the season. So don't worry, we won't go through another OEL scenario. So rest easy, be calm if the Canucks do have to retain. We've talked about them potentially retaining when it comes to Evander Kane. Again, he's a pending UFA, so that'll come off the books at the end of the season. But the highest bid is most likely to come from a team with flexibility and an all-in mentality like the Colorado Avalanche or the Carolina Hurricanes. They have the space and the incentive to simply outbid the competition. Treat the acquisition as the essential depth fix that it is. Let me know in the comments below which of these 9 buyers is the most desperate, and what do you think the Canucks' ultimate return should be for these essential deadline rentals. I'd like to thank my main and primary sponsor, none other than DraftKings, which is an official sports betting partner of the NHL. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright 2026 NHL, all rights reserved. This video has been a presentation of DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours, as well as the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, every team, everywhere. If you enjoyed this breakdown of which teams could pay the highest price for a Teddy Blueger or David Kämpf, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the Line Change, and be sure to have your notifications turned on so you don't miss more in-depth analysis of the Vancouver Canucks. Also, a thank you to those who have purchased our official merchandise on our official merchandise store. If you haven't yet, we do have some sales going on. We are currently selling our 1-year anniversary collection, which is actually coming up this Saturday. So go ahead, check that out, thelinechangepodcast.threadless.com. Also, if you want to have conversations and discussions like the one we just had, you join our official Discord. There is a link to it in the description down below. Talk with fellow Canuck fans and community members. in our Discord. It's completely free to join. Also, if you want to find and interact with us on social media, we're everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, even Blue Sky. Feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. Speaking of platforms, if you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review us on either platform. It's, of course, greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the podcast. Also, if you had an episode that you just couldn't get enough of and want to listen to over and over again, you can download your favorite episode on either platform, and that also really helps out the podcast. And, of course, we are very greatly appreciative of that as well. So once again, drop your comments down below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next line change.